So what's up? It's the Deck Talking Devil. I just moved. Here's my new house. Pretty nice neighborhood. But what I figured is that I'll do something new today. Maybe be a little exciting. I'm not gonna show y'all everything. We got boxes everywhere. But I'm still in the process of getting moved in. You see all my boxes and everything. Let's see. My new deck, why I get the name Deck Talking Devil. So we got a new deck where we'll be doing some videos. But what I wanted to do today was a little different. I'm gonna grab, let's go down to the basement. I'm gonna grab a random box of books. All of these books, all of these boxes, books. I ain't just bullshitting. It's books. That's all it is books. Because I read books. So I'm just gonna grab a random box of books and go through them and discuss some of the books that's in it. So maybe that'll be of interest to you guys, or maybe you'll say that was a bad idea. You know, people always gotta say something. So let's see. Take a random box of books. Little sitting area I got down here underneath my deck. Sit that right there. You know, I gotta have something. Let's see what's in here. Cause I don't have any idea. Holy moly. Y'all have to forgive me. I get excited when I see books. So, man, this book right here, Africanisms in American Culture. When I started reading this, it reminded me of the book, what is it, Mask? I think it's Mask. It's a book that talks about kind of how African culture has permeated American culture and kind of been subsumed by it. Really good book. I highly recommend it. You can find it, should be able to find it on Amazon. I'm not sure where I got that one from, but now this is the only fiction book that I have. If I have another one, it's from many years ago, but because Harper Lee was such a renowned author when this book came out, I figured I'd buy it. And then because it's set right here in my home state of Alabama, that was a little more motivation to go and pick the book up. Pretty good. I hadn't finished it because I'm just not a fan of fiction. I think I made it to part 2, but you know, it's a decent read. I can't get down with fiction for whatever reason. This back in my Bobby Hemmett days. Ancient Christian Magic. This book, you're using Bible verses and names of angels and everything else, and they trying to show you how Christianity had its root in paganism and how they would do rituals and things of that nature back in the earlier centuries of Christianity. Alright, I know if you waking up, you probably came across this book. When you're getting into vibrations and energy and things of that nature, you're going to come across crystals and gems and stones and things of that nature. Really good book to break down what each one of them are and what they look like. Really good images and things in there. They tell you the magical uses of different stones and everything. And I think they tell you how to identify a fake. Because there is a lot of fakes out there, like jet. If you take jet, the stone, the black stone jet, and rub it on a sheet of paper, it shouldn't leave that little black residue. Alright, here we go. Nocturnal witchcraft, magic after dark. This back when I first started waking up and I was looking into Wicca and things of that nature, and seeing how even early Wiccans had problems with Christians and, you know, being called pagan and all of that. But this book brings out the power of doing things at night and how to harness moon energy and things like that to enrich or fortify whatever work you're doing. And I know that term voodoo, I mean witchcraft, you know, kind of take some people, catch some people off guard, but man up. The Grimoire of Pope Honorius. Yes, the Grimoire of Pope Honorius. Written in 1760. Alright, so yeah, you have people in the Vatican practicing conjuring and spells, magical incantations based on Kabbalah, dealing with Solomonic magic and everything. And if you don't know, they say that Solomon had some lost keys. They call it the lost keys of Solomon, and they say Solomon had a ring and he bound all the demons and had the demons work for him. And some people even say that's who he used to build his temple. Here's another grimoire, the Grand Grimoire of the Red Dragon. Yeah, I dealt with a lot of stuff on my journey to spirituality. If you know any Moors, people who say they Moors, that are aborigines of this land, a Mexim, that we call America, Noble Drew Ali compiled the information in this book. He prepared it. He doesn't claim to be the author of it. He just said he got it from different places, and we know some of those places are the Quran, the Bible, and the Aquarian Gospels. So this is the Circle 7 Quran. Holy moly. Albert Churchwood. Churchwood and Kenneth Grant, two of my favorite authors who are not black. I have to say these guys put in some work and got some good information. Not that I agree with everything that they say, but they put in some work. I like Churchwood. Albert Churchwood got another book called Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man that you gotta read, man. It's crazy. It's some crazy information in that one, but this is a good one too. Trying to speed through these so this video ain't, you know, an hour long. What can I say about the man, the myth, the legend? What's this? I forgot the goddamn man's name. Dr. What's his face? Shit, I forget the man's name. Y'all know him with the Nuwabians, Nuwapos, all of these things that, yeah, Dr. York. That's his name. I'm sorry. I don't know how in the hell I forgot Dr. York's name. But say what you will, I want to say this one came out while he was in prison. This is one of his newer books. May have been out a couple of years now, 2-3 years now. But decent book. You know, I don't agree with a lot of the teachings of the Nuwapians and Dr. York. I don't buy that he's from the planet Ritz and all of that shit. But he did put out, he exhibited, I should say, a level of black intelligence that's uncanny. I can say that. How, if he misused that information to manipulate the minds of others and things of that nature, and some of the other activities that he's been charged with, you know, I'm not speaking to that, but I'm just saying the man wasn't your average Joe. He was a very, very intelligent man, and that's how he was able to amass the amount of followers that he had. This is where I started. When I started, if you watch my video, how I went from Christian pastor to deck talking devil, I told you guys that I started reading guys like Cornel West, Michael Eric Dyson, Tavis Smiley, you know, authors like that. And they start opening my eyes to some stuff dealing with race and religion, and it just spiraled from there. Again, don't agree with everything Cornel West do. He kind of has the tendency to show coonery. And, you know, even Sister Soldier back in the early 90s was clashing with Cornel West on issues of race and politics. So, definitely not my favorite guy, but still, I recommend you dealing with his body of work. Yes, sir. Sheikh unto Diop. Some people say Jop. Sheikh unto Diop. Black Africa. Diop was the man. If you don't know Diop, I'm sorry. I really don't know what to say at this point. If you don't know Sheikh unto Diop, the man. He's a legend in the conscious community, and you know, it took some other people like Dr. Clark, Dr. B and them, people working on his behalf. I think Asa Hilliard, but people working on Diop's behalf, trying to get it approved for his work to be released and published in America. This right here, Richard Carrier. When we deal with the Bible and the historicity of the Bible, and we get into scrutinizing the Bible, textual criticism is what it's called, then this is a pretty good book. Richard Carrier likes to use, you know, the numbers and statistics and scientific methods for determining the historicity of something. Really good book on the historicity of Jesus. You can see it's not for the faint of heart. It's a pretty thick book, but it's a good read. Shlomo saying, The Invention of the Jewish People. No doubt, on your journey to consciousness, you're going to come across the concept or ideology or idea that the Jewish people who occupy Israel today are not actually descendants of the Hebrews, who were the people in the Bible who became the Jews. And that those people who are in Israel right now are basically part of a political construct to interject those people from the backsides of the mountains and put them in a position of political and military and economic power. I talked about this a little bit a moment ago. The Magic of Solomon, the lesser keys of Solomon and stuff like that, dealing with Solomonic magic, and how they use these symbols and everything to actually summon spirits, trap spirits, question them, give them commands, and all of that. Pretty decent book. The only thing about this, it doesn't read like a book. It's more or less a grimoire. So it's spells or incantations and stuff in here. It's really nothing to just read through, but it's a lot of information. So if you into Solomonic magic, this is a good book to have. Now when you're dealing with these grimoires and stuff, you got to make sure you're writing this stuff correctly. So if you don't know Hebrew and stuff like that, you got to be very meticulous when you're writing this stuff, because everything has to be precise. Can't be doing no spell and you can't spell. You dig? Rosicrucian. If you know, I am a part of the Rosicrucians order, so you know I get my study in, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of people who got a lot to say about the Rosicrucians, as well as the Masons, as well as the Abaquois, and all of this here about secret societies and how they worship the devil and all this stupid shit. I heard all of that too, and that's what made me wanted to join one of the organizations to get on the inside to find out whether or not it's true. For the most part, it's not. A lot of the myths and legends and stuff, it's not true. One of my favorite authors when it comes to textual criticism, actually two of my favorite, Bruce Metzger and Bart Ehrman. And I want to say Metzger was Ehrman's teacher. But the New Testament, or the text of the New Testament and its translation corruption, they go through all these different societies and the different Bibles and stuff that came out in translation. They walk you through the different lines or lineages, families of manuscripts and stuff. So if you're into textual criticism, that's taking a deep dive into the text from which we get the Bible, then this is an excellent book to read. My teacher, right here, my teacher, the man, the best metaphysician in our lifetime, Dr. Phil Valentine. The Wounded Womb. I studied under Dr. Valentine at University of Commission Sciences, UKS. If you know anything about Dr. Phil's school, then you know where I'm coming from. Man, we'll get in and do PowerPoints and lectures and stuff, and he'll break this information down. I'm talking about, 3-4 hours at a time. He going hard. But this book right here, this book crazy, man. This book, it's a lot of information, and some people, knock Dr. Valentine for how he write, his writing style, and they don't like the flow of the book. When you're writing, you want to use the 3 C's literacy or literary writing, and that's to be clear, concise, and coherent. And he get knocked on his coherency, and we all know that Dr. Valentine has never been concise. You have to get the unabridged version when you're getting it from Dr. Valentine, because he gonna tell it like it is. But this book, man, he deals with everything in here. Everything in this book. You see that? Spasmosis and the epileptic joy of female ejaculation. This Dr. Valentine at his best. He goes in this book, man. Highly recommend this book. What else we got? David Allen Black, dealing with textual criticism. Again, deconstructing the myth behind the infallibility of the Bible. Eric von Daniken, I'm not a fan. in my opinion, this guy makes some intellectual connections that you have to hold together with the equivalent of intellectual chewing gum. Some of his information is good. In another one of his book, Fingerprints of the Gods, I think he has some good pictures and stuff, but some of the conclusions that he draw based on some of the images and things, I just don't think that there's enough evidence there to make the conclusions which he makes. Yes, sir. Godfrey Higgins, Anacalypsis. Again, if you're talking about that Bible and deconstructing it and talking about deconstructing religion and shining some light on spirituality and the hidden agenda behind religions and things of that nature, you know, this book, Anacalypsis, is paramount. All right. Godfrey Higgins, Anacalypsis. All right. We're almost done. A few more books. When I started with Tavis Smiley, Michael Eric Dyson, Cornel West, those guys, they kept quoting from Dr. King, kept quoting from Malcolm X, so I had to go and get the books that these authors wrote. So Martin Luther King here, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community. This one right here, Michael Bradley, how he breaks down that in his opinion and based on the evidence that's available, he says that the most harmful creature on the face of the earth throughout the history of life on the earth is the white man. And this is a white man who wrote this book. This isn't a black man, so it's not written with some kind of racial slant. He's looking empirically and objectively at the evidence. So this is his assessment of how things have played out in the world since the emergence of the Caucasoid from the backsides of Europe. So, you know, it's a damn good book to read. He brings out some valid points. And again, I don't agree with everything in it, but it was a good book. You got to get a little philosophical. Friedrich Nietzsche, I call him Nietzsche. Thus spoke Zarathustra. He uses the Bible a little too much for me in his stuff. You know, when I'm reading his stuff, you know, it's like I'm reading the King James version of the Bible or something. Look at him, you know, it's laid out like it's verses in the Bible. Look at that. To the clean are all things clean. And this is stuff that Peter was told by God on the rooftop when the feast was presented to Peter, and he wouldn't eat because the animals was unclean, and God told him, if I call a thing clean, who are you to call it unclean? That's what I'm saying in this book. It's just too much Bible. And so, you know, I like to have it, you know, for references, but as far as just sitting down studying it, not for me. Again, Sheikh Anta Diop, he busting heads in this one. Pre-colonial Black Africa by Diop, he busting heads in that. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. My man right here, Dr. Charles Finch, The Star Deep Beginnings. He goes into the science. He deals with the Shango bone. He deals with the incense burner. He deals with all of this stuff in here, showing how African societies and civilizations were the founders of advanced mathematical practices, advanced scientific discoveries, and things like that. And he got the evidence to back it up, to substantiate his claim. I'm not saying that evidence stands irrefuted, but I'm saying it's valid evidence. All right. Dr. Charles Finch, Star of Deep Beginnings. Gotta get that one, man. You gotta get that one. And Dr. Finch also practices African spirituality as well. I want to say that he's a priest in African spirituality as well. This just a book that I used when I was teaching myself to read Hebrew. Just a list of words basically in Hebrew with some translations in English, and that's really it. So it's not just a book you sit down and read. This one right here, the Latimer Monograms. This is a good book. Priesthood and Sacraments. You guys gotta, this again, Dr. Valentine recommended this book in one of our classes, and so I went out and picked it up. Interesting information in that book. This one right here. These brothers, and I like to read unbiased or be unbiased in my selection of reading material. I like to have a balanced perspective on different subjects. So these people right here, the authors here, Peter Ward and Donald Brownlee, kind of proponents that the earth is so rare, and the rareness of the earth bears witness to the existence of a creator. All right, like it's too many things that you would have to call coincidences to say that there's no God and that the earth and the creation of the universe started with the Big Bang. That their argument is in favor of a creator and God based on the rarity of life on earth and different things that you see in the universe. They present an argument, but I don't think, and they present a sound argument, but the evidence is not in their favor. And then again, I told you I started with Tavis Smiley. He was referencing Dr. King. Death of a King right here by Tavis Smiley. The real story of Martin Luther King's final years. So, good book to read. Damn good book to read, actually. That's a good one. Great book. So, that's my book unboxing here at my new house. You guys can see I don't even have half of my books here yet. You know, the other half's still in storage, so I got to get them. So I'll try to do more videos like this where I'm going through unboxing some books, and I'll share those books with you guys and kind of say something about books that's noteworthy that I think you would benefit from reading. And if y'all like that, you like this video and want me to continue doing these, you see I got enough books to go for about a month. Then I'll continue doing it. Let me know in the comment section below if you want more information on a book or suggestions on books that you can read for different things. You know how to reach me. Hit me up. This has been the Deck Talking Devil. Until next time, keep reading, my friend.